Donald Trump's hush money case in New York is nearing its end, but prosecutors don't appear to be in a rush to get through closing arguments. The hearing is still going now, well into the evening. Our Sky News Washington correspondent Annalise Nielsen joins us live now with all the details. Annalise, what are prosecutors saying at this point?
Well, look, they've gone through every detail of the case to convince the jury that they should convict. It's a high threshold beyond reasonable doubt, but even the most attentive jurors would have trouble concentrating for this long. It's just gone past 7 p.m. local time. This all started after 9 a.m. this morning. Defence went first, but this is quite the strategy to go into this much detail at the very end before they go into deliberations. We've seen one person complain on social media, that being the defendant, Donald Trump. He's posted to Truth Social boring, and then he's posted filibuster, taking a guess there what the prosecution strategy is. What we've seen today is a much more punchy, you could say, summary from the defence. What they've really focused in on is the character of Michael Cohen, the key witness in all this, who was the lawyer for Donald Trump, who recorded those hush money payments as legal fees. He's the only one that can really convince the jury in any independent evidentiary way that Donald Trump knew that that was incorrect to record those payments as legal fees and not record them as hush money payments. But at the same time, he's not the most reliable witness. He has previously been prosecuted for perjury and admitted to lying on Donald Trump's behalf several times, and in the course of this trial admitted to stealing from him as well. So that is what the defence has honed in on in their argument. They've said here in one excerpt that we can share, "Then he came in here, he raised his right hand and he lied to each of you repeatedly. You cannot send someone to prison. You cannot convict somebody based upon the words of Michael Cohen." Now, that's got the defence in trouble because he mentioned the prison word there. They're not supposed to talk at all about what the potential penalties could be for jurors. They're not supposed to have that in their mind. They're supposed to decide, do the facts match the law to the extent that they satisfy that charge beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's going to have a special warning for the jury from the judge after this. The prosecution's also talked about Michael Cohen's character, saying Michael Cohen's understandably angry that to date he's the one who's paid the price for his role in this conspiracy. Anyone in Cohen's shoes would want the defendant to be held accountable. Donald Trump's continued his consistent claim that this is all political persecution.
Make no mistake about it. I'm here because of crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroying our country. He's destroying our country. And he's also destroying it with weaponization. And this is purely his weaponization.
Look, Laura, until this point, there'd been no evidence that the Biden campaign was at all associated with this case being run by prosecutors in New York. But today, the campaign decided to send a few people out, including Robert De Niro. He was going tit for tat with some of the protesters there before his press conference. He was flanked by 2 January 6 officers, and they were there to criticize Donald Trump.
I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave.
Now, jury trials are always a fickle thing. You only need one person to vote against to have a hung jury and no conviction comes through. With the makeup of the jury, what we know of them, there is the potential for at least a few of them to not go that way, even in a very Democrat area. But what we do know is that this has very much contributed to Donald Trump's popularity in the polls. His supporters and others are very convinced that this has been political persecution, and he's seen that, if anything, it's had a bump in his popularity in the polls.
It's very, very dangerous. And I think both sides have now weaponized the criminal justice system against the other side. You can be sure the Republicans will do this against the Democrats.
Laura, when we went to air, the jury was taking another break, indicating that this could go even further into the evening.
Okay, late one for you as well, Annalise. We'll see you soon.